Hello and welcome back to Get Up and Game. My name is Josh, and in this video I'm going to be continuing my campaign playthrough of the new NeXt Evolution campaign featuring Drax. In the previous video we were able to overcome the first scenario, the Morlock Siege. Drax did rescue the Morlocks, and now we're going to be chasing after the Marauders as they're trying to escape with Hope Summers. So let me quickly read the story and then we'll get right into it. You turned back the Marauders' attack and saved many Morlock lives, but in their retreat, the Marauders captured Hope Summers. You get the feeling that she was the real reason for the attack. You pursue the Marauders to an abandoned construction site on the surface. You crash their attempt to hand Hope over to the Nasty Boys, known henchmen of the mutant mastermind, Mr. Sinister. The Marauder holding Hope captive tries to escape while the combined forces of the Nasty Boys and the other Marauders cover their retreat. So, when setting up for this scenario, for the campaign, you actually need to check the campaign instructions before you start doing the actual setup, which is a little strange because campaign setup doesn't typically take place until after the villain has been fully set up, but it's fine. As long as you read ahead, you will quickly discover that that's the case. And so it tells us that before resolving the setup text on Gotta Get Away, which tells us to grab the same 7 Marauders that were the villains in the first scenario, and you just choose one at random, what this is going to tell us to do is we remove each villain card recorded in the campaign log under Marauders defeated from the game. So I just kept them here under routed, and so we defeated Riptide, Chimera, and Arclight in the first scenario, so these 3 will not be a potential option, but in this scenario, instead of fighting multiple members of the Marauders, you're only going to be fighting one. If you're playing outside of campaign mode, it could be one of 7. If you're playing in the campaign, then it would be one of 4 because 3 would have been previously defeated. So we're going to set those aside. And so we have 4 left to choose from. So let's pick randomly from here. Again, we're playing standard difficulty in the standard campaign. So we're going to be fighting them on the A side. And whichever one we land on, I'm not looking, will be the villain for this. And some of these are better matchups for Drax than others. Let's see, we got Harpoon. Okay, so we'll set the rest aside. They'll be removed. So Harpoon is going to be our villain for this game, and it's so cool that every time you fight this scenario, you can have one of 7 different villains. It doesn't necessarily drastically change up the scenario from game to game, but I think it changes it enough that it makes it fun to come back to. Because this one has the ability that when it attacks you or an ally you control, you take 2 indirect damage, or you would give them an additional face-down boost card. So depending on your hero and your deck, that could affect you in ways that might not affect other heroes or strategies. So Harpoon is going to be our villain. Now it tells us in the campaign, for each Morlock saved in the previous scenario, you choose a player to search their deck for 1 card and add that card to your hand to shuffle their deck. We did rescue 2 Morlocks. So when we go to draw our hand, we will actually get to pick 2 cards that will definitely start in our hand, and then we'll fill our hand up the rest of the way. Also, as part of the scenario setup, I know I'm kind of jumping back and forth between scenario setup and campaign setup, sorry, but in this particular one, they kind of go hand in hand a little bit. So this one told us to put 1 random Marauder villain into play, which we did, minus the 3 that were already defeated. It says to remove the minion with the same title as the villain. So we need to go into the encounter deck and get Harpoon out of here. Now it's interesting, this encounter deck is pretty much identical to the previous one. It uses the same modulars. So really all you have to do is take out the Morlock Siege cards, throw in the On the Run cards, but then you also need to grab the Nasty Boys. But I think it's really neat. You know, this is the exact same group you were just fighting. You're kind of in the same moment in time. So the deck, of course, would look the same. I think that's good theming. Similar to how Collector 1 to Collector 2, the deck stays the same. I just really like how they do these things. Okay, I'm barely paying attention. Harpoon, there we go. So Harpoon gets removed. I'm just going to stack him under the villain version so I don't lose him. Longtime viewers of the channel will know I'm not beyond losing a pile of cards if I'm not careful. So let's make sure I know where that is. So we'll shuffle up the villain deck. All right, now let's keep doing the scenario setup just to make sure we've done everything here. Move the minion, we just did that. Attach the Hope's Captor attachment to the villain, competent side up. So this card basically runs the scenario, and it tells us that when the villain would attack you, if a Marauder minion is engaged with you, the villain schemes instead. This is kind of the big gimmick of this scenario, is the minions are trying to help the villain escape, so they sort of have special powers. If there's a Marauder minion in play, the villain doesn't attack you, it schemes, and later on the Marauder minions are going to gain guard. So this one's kind of all about the minions getting in your way, and there are quite a few of them. And so you definitely need to be equipped to deal with them, and you'll see here shortly that I did change the deck up a little bit to be sure to be able to deal with these minions, because we do not want the villain scheming. And then it tells us that when the villain would be defeated, we basically reset his hit points and flip this over, and that's going to advance the main scheme. That's going to give the villain 6 more hit points per player and +1/+1. So it basically turns them into like a regular villain that would have a side 1 and a side 2 and a side 3, stage 1, you know, all that. So it's pretty neat how this works, and it just turns any of these into a normal type of villain. And that is going to be all of that. So we flip this over. Each Marauder minion gains steady. That's not going to matter for us. And in expert mode, the villain also gains steady. We're not playing expert. And when revealed, each player searches the encounter deck for a Marauder minion and puts into play engaged with them. So we are going to be searching for a Marauder minion. So we've got to go find somebody. And I can tell you now, it won't really matter which one I pick because of how this game is going to start. As long as it only has 4 hit points, then we will be just fine. So let me find a 4 hit point Marauder. There's one. Yep, so we will just start with Vertigo in play. And if we don't defeat Vertigo, then Harpoon will not be attacking us, he will be scheming. So we gotta make sure we defeat Vertigo. I'm gonna keep the deck off to the side. So that is the end of the main scheme setup. So let's continue with the campaign setup. If there's a campaign environment marked as earned in the campaign log, put that environment into play and give each enemy a tough status card. So we did earn the prepared defenses environment in the first game, so that is going to start in play. That of course will cause the under pressure card to be shuffled into the encounter deck. And then the players as a group choose one player side scheme listed in the campaign log that has not been chosen. So we're going to choose mission prep this time. If we defeat this one is going to give us the ability to search our deck for an upgrade and put it into play for free. And so that's going to let us start the game with Dweethite Mastery in play for the rest of the campaign, which is incredibly useful. However, we do need to remove 4 threat from it first, which might be easier said than done. And then Scrambler is the encounter card we get for doing mission prep, which is, he's nasty. He has Surge, and he causes you to discard an upgrade you control. So we definitely don't want to be seeing him, and he's a 3 boost icon, so it's just bad all around. Continue to love how this campaign is set up. It's very simple. You just get a side scheme and you get a bad card, and you don't have to keep track of a million things. I know the Sinister Motives campaign, it was really cool, but I could never bring myself to play it because it just always felt like I had to track so much stuff, and I don't know, I'm probably just being lazy. But I like this style, and like the Mad Titan Shadow. It's just a little bit easier to keep track of everything. That's more my speed, I guess. So we did that, chosen side scheme into play, marked the player, yep, taking your counter card, did all that, okay. And then we're not playing expert campaign, so we're not gonna worry about persistent damage. So then I think the only thing that is left is we need to give each villain where was it? Put that environment into play and give each enemy a tough status card, yes. We need to remember to do that. And then I think the only thing that's left is for me to choose 2 cards to add to my hand as my reward for saving the 2 Morlocks. Also, gotta get away. Should have 1 threat on it. If it gets to 8, we lose, but if we defeat the first stage of the Hope's Captured Harpoon, we will simply move on to the next one. So we don't necessarily have to keep it clear, because it's gonna lose all its threat when you defeat Harpoon the first time, but you do need to make sure you don't let it pop. Now, I think I said in the last video that I was just going to play the same deck, but I did end up changing it some. I am really enjoying this very defense-oriented version of Drax, actually exhausting to defend. And since we're starting with the prepared defenses in play this time, guaranteeing that we have the +1 defense and retaliate 1, I decided to go ahead and lean a little bit harder into the perfect defense strategy. It's one of my favorite ways to play the game anyway, and I haven't done it very much on camera. And I also like that this will be the third protection Drax deck I've played on the channel, and they all play a little bit differently. Even though Drax tends to play the best in protection, and I think he most frequently gets played in protection, there are still different ways to approach that strategy. So a lot of the deck is similar, but I took out the preemptive strikes and I put in energy barriers, because one thing with Drax and perfect protection is he only has a 4 hand size. I don't want to have to rely on drawing events in order to guarantee my perfect defenses. I prefer to have upgrades, so instead of desperate defense and like defiance and stuff like that, I'm just going to use energy barriers and indomitables, things that are going to be guaranteed to be on the table. It's a little bit more reliable that way. If I don't draw a defense event, I'm not left hanging. So we've got the armor still there, and I did put 2 hard to ignores in, so we're going to be trying to defend without taking damage, and that's going to help us manage the threat. And then the main thing, of course, when you're playing this strategy is unflappable. So I'm really hoping to get unflappable early so that when I defend, take no damage, I'll get to draw a card, and then once we have our 3 vengeance counters, I'll get to draw a card for this and a card for Drax's ability. And I also have 2 copies of Hard Knocks, because there are quite a few minions in this set, and we need to make sure that we are defeating them, because they are going to allow the villain to scheme if we don't, and they're going to be guards later, so we really want to make sure they die. And on that note, we get to start with 2 cards in our hand of our choice. So we're going to be starting with a Hard Knocks and a double resource to help pay for it. As much as I would love to start with Dweethite Mastery and Drax's Knife or Mantis in my hand, I need to make sure I kill Vertigo immediately, or if Harpoon schemes. Now, he doesn't scheme much, which is lucky. We got a 0 schemer, so that's going to help. But we're just not really super well equipped to remove threat. So I don't want to have to do it any more than necessary, and I would really like to focus on clearing the mission prep as quickly as possible and not have to worry about managing the main scheme. So kind of tailor-made my strategy for this very specific start. So we're going to start with a Hard Knocks and an energy, so we'll be able to ping the tough with Drax and then immediately kill Vertigo, and it's going to get us a tough for the villain phase, which is going to be nice too. And so we're going to be drawing a parry. Oh, yes. Dweethite Mastery, a payback, and a limitless stamina. So it's not all good, but some of it is. So we know we want, obviously, those, and then we can just use like a parry to finish paying for it. And then we want that, so we can just use the payback to pay for that. And then, you know what, we'll just hold on to this. Actually, in the end, it is a pretty good hand because we have everything we need. And then we get Dweethite down and we attack. We'll be able to draw a card that will pay for this, or let us attack again to draw another card. So I quite like that setup. So let me just quickly look around and make sure I didn't forget anything. Don't want to make any mistakes, you know, particularly doing a campaign play. I'd really prefer the games to be as clean as possible. I'm sure I'll make a mistake here and there. I always do. It's hard not to when I'm talking constantly and you know, trying to manage the game and stuff, but I'm going to do my best. So I think we're ready to go. So hopefully this is the last time I'm in Alter Ego for the rest of the game. We're going to flip into hero form, and then we're just going to do what we said we were going to do. We're going to use a payback to get Dweethite down on the table. So I'm just going to line up my upgrades in this direction, I think. So now when we make a basic attack, we get to draw a card. So we'll do that. So Drax is going to attack for 1, which will take the tough off of Vertigo. And we get to draw a card, which is going to be the Booster Boots. Don't think those are going to get played, but we'll see. And now we definitely want to make sure Vertigo goes away so that Harpoon doesn't get to scheme, because it's doubly bad for Drax. I feel like we keep running into these very interesting matchups for Drax. Like, the villain doesn't want to attack. They didn't want to attack us in the first scenario. They don't want to attack us in this one. And it's just so funny I chose Drax to play against these villains that don't want to attack us. Now, next scenario, that's not going to be a problem. But I've got an idea for that deck, and it should be really cool. But for now, we're going to use a double and a parry to pay for Hard Knocks. This is a card I haven't used much. Hero action attack, deal 4 damage to an enemy. If the enemy is defeated by this attack, give your hero a tough status card. So all good things. It came with Drax, and it's really good for Drax. It's just 3 is a lot to ask Drax to pay with a 4 hand size. Now, if he's fully set up, he's going to have extra cards, but that's not always guaranteed. So I don't often run it, but so that does 4 damage to Vertigo, takes her out, and gets us a tough. So that's awesome. And so now we're left with these 2 cards. So I could just get the Booster Boots on the table, and that is going to help with future perfect defenses. You know, we didn't get a hard to ignore, we didn't get unflappable, we didn't get the armored vest. So we're not really set up to defend perfectly just yet. I think the only other way is I might choose to ready with limitless stamina just to thwart for 1. I really want to make sure I get this done. But I think I'm going to play for the long game. So we're actually going to discard limitless stamina to pay for the booster boots. We'll put this one over here because we're planning on exhausting it. I just keep moving all my stuff around. So that will help us achieve a perfect defense and just take less damage in general. So that is going to be the turn. I think we're in good shape here. So we'll just draw our 4 cards. The Night Nurse, awesome. Armored Vest, fantastic. Brother Voodoo, and Fight Me Coward. Oh, I really like the look of this hand. I'm just always happy to have one of these. Going to help us get our vengeance counters faster, and hopefully we can get both of those down. Be really great. So, Gotta Get Away is going to 2 threat. Now, Harpoon wants to attack us, and we have to decide. We either need to take 2 indirect damage immediately, which would take off our tough, or we give him an additional face down boost card. We're definitely going to give him an extra boost for this attack. That might not always be the choice that we make, but it's definitely the one we're making now. So he's getting 2 boost cards, but we're tough, so we're not going to do anything, and hopefully this works out. So it's just a 0 boost and a 2 boost, but give the villain an additional boost card for this activation, but that is the way we want to see this card. This is our punishment for preparing for defense. So hopefully it doesn't do anything. Yeah, perfect. So we got rid of an advance. We got rid of this. That's great. So Drax takes 2, I don't know, some number of damage, doesn't matter. Pings off his tough. And more importantly, we get a vengeance counter. And then we just have an encounter card to deal with. What's it gonna be? Oh, we get Hairbag. These nasty boys really are so nasty. So he has Surge, which is no fun, and the teamwork keyword, so hopefully we don't surge into another nasty boy. And he's going to oh, he's not going to attack. I got Surge and Quick Strike conflated in my head. No, he's not going to attack us. Well, we'll see. If we flip another nasty boy, he is going to attack us. It's going to be no. Oh, advance, really? Wow, both of them were really close to the top. Okay, so Harpoon is scheming for 0 plus 2. Okay, well, could have been worse. So main scheme goes to 4 of 8. Now, again, I don't really want to have to thwart that much at all if I can help it, so that's not great. All right, Hairbag. Let's see if there's anything we can do with him. Well, we're still at full health, so I think for now we are just going to take a little bit of damage. First thing we're going to do is attack Hairbag for 2. So we're definitely going to want to try to get rid of him. Now, he doesn't have the Marauder trait, so even if we don't defeat him, Harpoon won't scheme. It's only the Marauders that are trying to protect the villain, but I still don't want him around. He's going to be hitting me for 2, plus teamwork. You got to kill these guys immediately. If another one comes out, then they're both going to activate against me. So that was that, and then we're going to play Fight Me Coward, ready your hero, and draw a card. The villain attacks you. So we ready. We draw a card into 2 Stubborn to Die. And, oh, and I should have drawn a card for Dweethite Mastery as well. Intimidation. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so now Harpoon is attacking us for 2, and we have to decide if we want to take 2 indirect damage or give him an additional face-down boost card. The boost card seems like the better option because it's probably not going to be more than the 2 damage I would just be taking from his first ability. Of course, there's the chance of having an annoying boost ability. But I think for now I'm going to risk it. I'm just going to take 2 boost cards. Maybe that's foolish. I mean, if you had like allies to share the indirect damage with, that'd be great. And I'm going to be able to prevent 1 of the damage here. So he's already attacking me for 2, 3, 4, 5. So not great. Not great at all. But I will use, I might as well use the booster boots. When you take an amount of damage, exhaust it, and discard the top card of your deck. So I discarded CITT, or Kit, not too bad. So I'm taking 1 less damage, so I'm only taking 4. Down to 10. And that is going to be a second vengeance counter. So now I am attacking for 3, and I am ready. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm attacking for 3 now. I should have attacked Harpoon first. I wasn't really thinking about the fact that I was going to be attacking for 3. Oh well. Pay attention, kids, because yeah, I could have easily just killed Hairbag with my second attack, because it's not like he has guard. Oh well, I will live with that mistake. It would be easy to correct and just say I'll do that instead, but I'll live with that mistake. Okay, so now I think we are... Oh, I have... You know what? I have Retaliate. Should I just let... Oh, I have Retaliate. Hold on. Harpoon attacked me in the first round. Retaliate would have pinged his tough. See, I knew when I took this that I was never going to remember I had Retaliate, and sure enough. And then he just attacked me again, so there we go. So that's caught up. Cool. With that being the case, I am tempted to just leave Hairbag there. I'm really getting sick of saying Hairbag. And letting the Retaliate finish him off, but it's 2 more damage I'm taking. It's just such a waste. I'm so annoyed at myself for wasting that first attack on him. And it was largely because I had left that tough on Harpoon. If that hadn't been there, I think I would have thought to attack him. Well, either way, I definitely want to be attacking next so that I draw another card before I play anything else. So, are we going to waste a whole bunch of damage on Hairbag? Yeah, I don't want to take 2 more damage that I don't need to take. So, fine, I'll kill him, stupid Hairbag. All right. So that's that, and I get to draw a card for Do We Feat Mastery? Ooh, money. So that's interesting. I wasn't going to play Brother Voodoo, but now it's kind of tempting. And then he could thwart for 2, maybe off the main. We could do an Intimidation, or maybe try to save Intimidation for next turn when it's removing 4 threat, and then that'll take off the... side scheme. So if we play Brother Voodoo, that's going to get us another card. And then that would have let us play the Night Nurse or Armored Vest. And then we're going to be left with a decision. Well, either way, I think we should definitely play Brother Voodoo because the thwarting that's pretty much why he's there. So we're going to pay 3 resources to get Brother Voodoo down. After he enters play, we're going to search the top 5 cards of our deck for an event. Hopefully we find one. Okay, we definitely found one. Okay, yep, it's going to be that Limitless Stamina. Cool, so we get that back in our hand. Shuffle up here. So now I could ready and use Drax again to draw another card, though I'm giving up. I really want all 3 of these cards. I could just have Brother Voodoo thwart Mission Prep for 2 this turn and Mission Prep 2 for next turn and remove 3 from the main right now. Just to keep it low, like say I did that, and then probably would play the Armored Vest since he's not one of the ones that's going to be causing status effects, though some of the nasty boys do. Oh man. Well, I think, okay. Yeah, we're gonna Brother Voodoo. He's gonna thwart for 2. We're gonna work on this. So that's gonna be down to 2. And then he takes 2 damage for that, but that's okay. We're just gonna thwart with him again next turn. We'll go ahead and play Intimidation to remove 3 threat from Gotta Get Away. And then I just have to decide, do I want the Night Nurse or Armored Vest? So I'm sort of sitting at 4 defense with the booster boots. But if I'm letting him attack me for 2 with 2 face down boost cards, 4 defense doesn't seem like a lot. Though right now I don't have any of my perfect defense stuff out, so it doesn't really matter if it's not a perfect. I'm going to take the Night Nurse. I don't like I don't like getting stunned, and there's definitely stun in here, and if I get shadows, that's going to add some stun, or my obligation, I mean, could potentially stun me. So let's just go with the Night Nurse, do some healing, and we'll save her for now. We won't use her just yet. So I don't know if that's the right choice or not, but it's what we're going with. So draw my cards. There's some more Retaliate, some more threat removal. Okay, could have just been patient, I suppose. Endurance and a Knife Leap. Okay, we're gonna do some damage next turn, I think. So this is going back up to 2. Now he is attacking for 2, and I have to make this choice again. I don't have a way to ready, so if I do exhaust to defend, which I'm at 10, then I'm not gonna be able to use the Knife Leap. I don't like that idea. I have an endurance, so I can gain 3 health back. I'm gonna draw at least 1 card by attacking again if I don't exhaust. So yeah, I'm just gonna take this hit, and I'm gonna do it. Man, I don't like the idea of these. Well, I know some of the boosts are, let's see if we can see any of them. That one's gonna shuffle Hairbag back in. Yeah, I know I'm pretty sure there's at least 1 boost in here that stuns you because of one of the nasty boys, which I've already accounted for that. So let's just do the 2 boost cards, I guess. I don't know. So he's attacking for 2, 3, and then the extra 4, 5. Oh, well, it helps you chew through cards faster, I guess. I've lost shadows. So that's 5 more damage. Man. So I'm supposed to be defending, but not really set up to be doing that. He takes 1 Retaliate down to 8. I don't want to take too much more damage here. Okay, and then we just have the encounter card, which is Arclight. So we get another of the Marauder minions. She has Retaliate, and when she attacks me or an ally control, I have to do things. Okay, that's fine. Also, we get our 3rd Vengeance counter, so we're all Vengeance up, which is a very good thing to be. Now we're definitely going to, it's back to me, we're definitely going to spend a Night Nurse to heal for 1, go up to 6, still not great. We are going to use Brother Voodoo to thwart away the mission prep. When defeated, flip this card and put mission prepped into play. So what this does is an environment. It says enters play with a prep counter on it. Remove 1 prep counter from here. Each player searches their deck and discard power for 1 upgrade with a printed cost of 2 or less and puts it into play. I'm just going to spend this now and do that immediately. And you know, normally that's going to be Dweethite Mastery at the beginning of the game, assuming it isn't already in my opening hand. But now I have options. I'll probably get my knife, because it's going to get me to 5 attack, which will be enough to allow me to kill Arclight, and I really need to kill Arclight. But, you know, I could get electrostatic armor, I could get an energy barrier. Energy barrier actually sounds really good. Let me think about this, because I have a Knife Leap. I could just Knife Leap through Arclight. Then that'll deal, let's see, we're attacking for 4, so that'd be 9. So that would do 4 damage to Harpoon, leave him at 4. I don't necessarily want to kill Harpoon just yet, because that's just going to make him hit me even harder, and we're going to get a minion when we flip. And I'm not really set up to be taking more damage. So yeah, let's go defensive. Oh, I can get unflappable, can't I? Yeah, that's an upgrade, right? Yeah, so I could get unflappable. Then I'd be, let's see, I'm defending for 3 plus the booster boots, which I forgot to use on the last turn, so I could have saved myself a health there. Man, I need to remember this stuff. Oh, do I get an energy barrier or unflappable? I think right now, because my health is so low, I'm going to take an energy barrier just to really try to save myself some damage. So we're going to go with that. And then hopefully we get Manus online soon and get my health back up. All right, so we're going to do an energy barrier. Comes in with 3 counters on it. That's very nice. And so we took care of all of that. And this doesn't really do anything, but I'll just leave it there. So now if we can do a Knife Leap through Arclight, and that's going to draw us a card when we attack. Endurance removes 4 threat now, or intimidation, I mean. We get endurance is going to be for some help. Okay, so yeah, so let's start with Drax is going to attack. We're going to play Knife Leap, which reduces the cost to play it by 1 for each vengeance counter, so we have 3, so it costs 0. When you make a basic attack, get +5 with overkill and piercing. So we're actually attacking for 9. So 5 goes through Arclight. We don't have to worry about retaliate. 4 goes to Harpoon, bringing him down to 4. And we get to draw a card, which is Limitless Stamina. Okay. So we definitely want the endurance because we need the health. And the main is at 2. And we just need to make sure it doesn't pop. Both advances are gone. So whenever we defeat Harpoon, that scheme goes away. So I don't think we're going to worry about the threat because we're probably going to knock him out next turn. I just like to get a little bit more set up. So then intimidation isn't that big of a deal. So I think the priorities then become Drax's other knife and endurance because we don't want to knock him out now. So yeah, that's the way to go. So intimidation gets us some more retaliate. So now we have retaliate 2, which is so cool. And limitless stamina is going to bring out endurance for 3 more health. So we're back up to 9. So that's not too bad. That's what a lot of heroes start with. So we're pretty good there. If we can remember, we have the booster boots. We'll take less damage. So yeah, I think this is good. Just we'll take our time. We don't need to be in a big hurry. Try to get a little bit safer of a setup. So let's ready everything. Drawing 4 cards, getting Indomitable, hard to ignore. Oh, there's Unflappable, so we'll get that down next turn, and another Knife Leap. Man, maybe we could just, if we had a ready, maybe we'll draw into 1, because now we're going to draw cards when we get attacked. So if we draw into a ready of some kind, we might be able to just kill him, because we can do 9 with a Knife Leap and 4 with a basic attack. That's pretty good. All right, gotta get away, goes up to 3. Harpoon is attacking us. Keep waffling on this decision every time. So if we take the 2, we could, if we take the 2, we could prevent 1 with an energy barrier. It's kind of a waste because pinging him, we're gonna attack for 4 most likely, but we don't know for sure. I guess he might get a tough or a minion or something. So let's go ahead and take the indirect first. We'll prevent 1, ping him back. It's kind of a way to prevent a boost icon, I guess, for 8. And now he is attacking us for 2 + 1 boost. And we don't have a way to ready. So we're just going to take it, remembering that we have the booster boots and the energy barrier. So he's attacking us for 2, 3, and we are stunned. There it is. Cool. Well, it's not cool, but we can handle that. So that's 3 damage. Now we will energy barrier 1 of those. Back to him. We will booster boots 1 of them, giving up an Indomitable. That's fine. And then we take 1 damage. Oh, I did not think this through, because now that will defeat him with my double retaliate, which means a minion will come out and they will activate against me immediately. I'm at 7. Oh, and I'm stunned, which won't last long, but it does technically matter for now. You know what? It's fine. I could just choose not to use the energy barrier, but sure. So retaliate 2 brings him to 0. That's a fun way to defeat a villain. When the villain would be defeated, reset attached villain's hit points to its permanent hit point value and flip this card and reveal it. So they're getting +6. So he was at 10. Now he's at 16. Advance the main scheme stage 2A. So we're going to 2A, escaping with hope. Having taken a pounding, the Marauders redouble their efforts to escape with their captive. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Marauder minion and puts that minion into play engaged with them. Give each Marauder enemy a tough status card. Let me do that before I forget. Okay, now what we can do, I know exactly who I'm going to go get, because Scrambler is awful and is a Marauder. And so we can just get him, and what that's going to do is that lets us get this Surge out of the deck, and also his really bad when revealed effect out of the deck. So, and he only hits for 1. We can live with that. And our Retaliate almost kills him. Actually, our Energy Barrier will kill him. No, he's going to have Tough. Arr, he's got Tough. He's got Tough. Okay. Comes in with Tough. And then now we have 9 threat. Starts with 1, but it goes up by 2 a turn. They are really booking it here. Each Marauder minion gains Guard and Steady. In Expert mode, the villain gains Steady. Okay, so now we just have to defeat the villain again, and we win. So, now we just have a Scrambler attacking us for 1. So, we'll just give up Energy Barrier to prevent the damage. And that will ping his Tough, and then our 2 Retaliate will hit him. And now we still have our Encounter card. I'm just looking around, making sure I'm not forgetting any other effects. Oh, I did forget Harpoon attacked us, and we should have drawn a card. Got Strength, okay. Yes, cool. Because of Drax, when he has all 3 the Vengeance counters, you draw a card instead of getting more Vengeance counters. So then our Encounter card is Tag Team. When revealed, choose each Marauder minion engaged with you activates against you. I think that's going to be just fine. Or we could discard a bunch of cards and get another Marauder minion. No thank you. We will just let Scrambler activate against us. Feel free to attack us for 1. So we will go down to 6. And our Retaliate 2 will finish him off. Thank you for playing. Okay, that was fun. So now we just need to deal with a Tough and 16 damage. We are stunned, but that's not going to be a problem. The Booster Boots, yes, it should be exhausted. So we definitely want to get the stun off of there. We'll go ahead and start with that. So we'll heal for 1 and clear our stun with the Night Nurse, going up to 7. And so can we deal 16 damage? This is Drax, so it is not outside the realm of possibility. Though not with the hand we currently have. Well, let's start out with just a basic attack for 4, and we'll throw in a free Knife Leap for 5 more. It has Overkill and Piercing, so that deals with the Tough. So that's 9 damage to Harpoon, so he is quickly down to 7. And that's going to let us draw a card. What's it going to be? A Hard Knocks. Well, that would be 4 more damage. If I had a way to ready, then I would be able to win the game this turn, but I don't. So, probably do the Hard Knocks just for some more damage, and then we can almost kill him with our Retaliate, or if we had an Energy Barrier, so close. And then we'll throw the Inflappable down. Oh, I should have put Threat on the main. There we go. Yeah, so we'll just hit him with a Hard Knocks for 4. You know what? I think, honestly, the Indomitable is probably more valuable than the Unflappable. That way we can just exhaust to defend. Yeah, we'll draw 1 more card, doesn't matter. So that'll be fine. So we're gonna play for the Hard Knocks to deal 4 damage, down to 3. And then let's just get the Indomitable on the table to make sure that we can defend, because we are at 7, you never know. That's it. So a very simple turn. Draw 4. And there's Manus, finally. And yeah, so all we have to do is not die. And we can deal, it's going to end up being 1 damage. Now he does have +1 now, though that was just recently. Yeah, that didn't matter. I was thinking I might have forgotten that. But okay, this goes up by 2. So now he is attacking us for 3, and then I don't know why I have such a hard time making this choice. So if I take the 2 indirect damage, I'll be down to 5. I'm going to defend, and I'm defending for 2, 3, +1, essentially 4. So, yeah. No, I'm going to take the 2 I don't know. Oh, I put the encounter deck on the table. It's fine. Yeah, we'll do the 2 boosts this time. We'll mix it up. And we are going to defend. So he's attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6. Ouch. Now that would have been the first boost. 7. So we actually took 1 less damage than if we had taken the indirect. So it's an attack of 7 total. We defended for, I just added this up. What was it again? 2, 3. And then we'll use the booster boots for essentially 4, losing payback. So we still are taking 3 damage. Down to 4. We get to draw a card for our ability. Another hard to ignore. Indomitable will ready us. And he takes 2 damage from the retaliate. So close. Down to 1. And all that's left to do is flip our encounter card. Do we win? Bound by business. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a Marauder minion that does not share a title of card in play is discarded. Put that minion to play engaged with you. Oh, maybe not. So we flip until we get a Marauder, and the Marauders do have guard. So we're getting Chimera. She has patrol and, well, we never got my knife, so I'm actually only attacking for 4. Not even guaranteed to kill her. What's in my hand? Oh, boy. I just have to be able to deal 1 damage. Can I deal 1 damage? Come on. I can attack for 4. Well, I don't need any more retaliate. I'm only at 4 is the thing. I'll play Manus for sure. We don't care about the threat. If I play Manus, I can't do anything else. I can attack. That's going to let me draw a card. Hold on. Well, I guess we're just going to have to attack for 4. Stupid Chimera. Why couldn't you have 4 health? And that's going to let us draw a card with our Dweethite Mastery into... There's the knife. Son of a gun. 1 card away. You know what? If we'd had Unflappable... Actually, we wouldn't have drawn a card anyway, so it's fine. Because we took way too much damage. The whole perfect defense thing definitely didn't work out. This was a bad matchup for that. I wonder maybe if we'd gotten a lower attack. I also didn't get my armored vest out. Energy barriers, really. So not the best perfect defense ever, but it was really more just about keeping Drax alive, and we did that at least. And the retaliate's been great. I wonder how many times I've forgotten it. So what we need is just a way to... Manus could kill Chimera, but then we don't have... Oh, can I play Manus and Daredevil? I sure can. There we go. 1, 2 for Mantis. Mantis attacks for 1 to defeat Chimera. Takes 2 damage. We'll go ahead and use these 2 to play Daredevil. And Daredevil attacks for 1, defeating Harpoon. Good job, Daredevil. So, there we go. Another win. Drax is doing great. Love Drax Protection so much, though I have not yet played a Drax Protection deck that looks something like what a normal Drax Protection deck looks like, with leading blows and what doesn't kill me and just attack. But I just don't think these scenarios have lent themselves to that strategy. I've wanted to be a little bit more cautious. And honestly, the big thing that's slowing me down is I just want to make sure I can clear these. I really, really want these abilities. So I'm trying to play a little bit slower strategies just to make sure I have the time to clear these player side schemes. But like I said earlier, I think it's just fun, just different ways to play Drax, even within protection that he can excel at. We were always kind of low on health, partially just because we never saw Manus until the very end. But, he hung in there just fine. We managed the threat just well enough to stay in the game, which is what you should always be trying to do with Drax, in my opinion. You don't have to remove all the threat, just remove enough not to lose. And so there we go. So let me look at not sure what we need to keep track of for this one. Victory, just mark each campaign environment in play as earned. So yeah, so we're going to be able to start with an upgrade in play. Next time we're going to be facing Juggernaut. And yeah, we'll see what all that entails as far as the campaign goes next time. So thank you so very much for joining me. If you enjoyed your time here, please consider liking the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I really look forward to seeing you next time we get up in game. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.